Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. In Pirkei Avos Perik Chamishi, there is the famous Mishnah when he lists off the progress of a person and the qualities of a person at what age, at Ben Chamesh L'Mikra, Ben Esther L'Mishnah, and so on. When it cuts to Ben Chamishim, a 50-year-old, so the Mishnah says the quality, the good midah of what you could get from a 50-year-old is Ben Chamishim Le'etza. If you're looking to get good counsel, get good advice, a 50-year-old is the right age to give Eitzah. Says the Bar Tanura, where do we know that 50 is the right number for good counsel, for good advice? Says the Bar Tanura, Shenamar B'Leviim. We could learn it out from a pasuk in Parshas Ba'aleischa about the Leviim. The Leviim were able to start doing avodah from 20 years old. Their avodah finished at 50. When they're 50, they stop doing the regular avodah. Umiben chamishim shana, the pasuk says, when once they turned 50, yashuv mitzvah ha'avodah, they have to return from the regular service. V'lo yaved oid, don't serve like they used to do. From now on, v'sheiles es echav. From now on, all they should do is help their brothers. So Rashi says, what is v'sheiles es echav? So Rashi says that you give advice. You give advice in helping the other brothers, the Leviim. And when you look in Parshas Ba'aleischa, Rashi says, avodas masa b'katef, carrying on the shoulders, they don't do anymore. Avo chayzer hu l'neiras sha'arim, l'shi'ir, l'litain agolis. But to help load the wagons, or to close the doors, these type of things they could still do. And this is what the pasuk means, v'sheirosim echav. So from here we know that to give advice, help others to do what they should be doing, they could still give after 50. Now, the Chafetz Chaim once said that if a person is that age, that he's able to see the big picture and able to help others, how much more a 50-year-old should know that he can help himself and realize at what stage of his life he is and start planning the future. If he has enough vision to help somebody else, for sure he should stop and think a moment, helping himself. In the Yitav Lev, he says a beautiful pirush. He says, what's the change between the Ben Chamishim, before Ben Chamishim and after Ben Chamishim? Before Ben Chamishim, the primary avodah of the Leviim was to do the Kli Shir, Leviim Beshiram Uvizimram, and when they do the Kli Shir, they arouse attachment by all other of the Klal Yisrael to get better and stronger connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So up to 50-year-old, up to becoming 50, they needed the instrument to affect somebody else. Once they became 50, they don't need an instrument to do it anymore. Ben Chamishim Le'etza, he says, is hisboidedus. Just by being a good role model, just by the younger Levim seeing you, seeing how you behave, and seeing what your heart is all about, because the Eitzah is from within the heart, an intellectual understanding. That is how you could have a trickle-down effect on the younger generation. You don't even need any more a klishir, an instrument, a tool to be able to do this. Now, it's famous that the Imrei Emes from Ger once said a story, and he said that about the Chiddushei HaRim once went to a great tzaddik for Yechidus, and when he came back, the Chiddushei HaRim said, you know what I learned from him? I asked him different advice, and the person was the elderly person, the tzaddik, and the tzaddik said, I'll tell you, direct positive advice, what you should do, I can't tell you, even though I'm much older than you. I am 70 years old, but one thing I could tell you, I could tell you from the 70 years of my life experience what not to do. What not to do, I could tell you. What to do is most probably something that you have to learn on your own. And some Mefarshim explain this story. They say that not necessarily what's suitable for one individual, what's good for you is good for the other person. So what's good for you, you have to figure out. But what's not good, What's not good is not good generally for everybody. So ben chamishim le'etza, at least the ben chamishim le'etza is good. L'ne'ilas sha'arim. L'ne'ilas sha'arim means shutting the doors. What the youngsters should not do. Once we shut the doors, once the 50-year-olds show from experience to the younger generation what should not be done, each one on their own should try to tap in to find what their source of good, what the source of life is in the individuals. We find another story of a person that went to a Rebbe to get a bracha. I think it was one of the Skvera Rebbes. And this Rebbe heard that this chassid, this young chassid, is trying to copy him. Everything he does, he copies him. The way he davens, the way he learns, everything he does. The chassid, you thought you're going to get a big yashikoyach from the Rebbe. You're trying to stay in the right path. So the Rebbe responded and said, instead of copying what I do, try to copy all the things I don't do. Whatever I don't do, whatever I know is not good for us, that you could copy from me. But what you should be doing is not doing what I do. That's my avodah. Each yid has his own avodah, so at least the proper eitzah that an elderly person starting from Ben Chamishim could give is from the life experiences, what to stay away from, that you could share with the younger generation.